Can you all able to see my screen?
Ma'am,
Yes?
it's visible.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, today I'm just going to start environmental geography and this event process geomorphology I'm going to handle. That we will see it on next week onwards. Okay. So, definitely you may come across this term, right? The term environment, right? So, any idea about environment? What is environment? Okay. So, environment. No. And simply we can tell environment is a surrounding. It is a surrounding which is, isn't it? So the term environment has been derived from environment, okay, which means surround. So surround us, what is there? That is called as environment. Okay. So what is surround us? We can classify that surrounding into two types. One is abiotic and second one is biotic. So what is abiotic? Abiotic is nothing but non-living organisms. Am I audible? Because I'm not getting any response. Yes? I couldn't
Yes,
see
ma'am.
any. Yeah, yeah.
Audible.
Okay, thank you. So abiotic means non-living and biotic means living organisms in the environment. So whenever you are talking about environment, you should imagine, you should have the capacity and the imagination about to think about this environment. Okay, surround us. What is there? Say, for example, if you are sitting and listening in front of you, what all the, if you classify what is a living and non-living, definitely you can tell, right? So that is called as an environment. The word environment, simply we can tell it is a surrounding and what all the organisms which in it. Okay. So this both living and non-living environment, we are dividing into two types. One is dynamic and another one is complex. So based on what we are dividing these two types. Okay. Environment is nature which surrounds us. This nature itself we are classifying biotic and abiotic. Biotic is the living things, right? Living components. Biotic. Can I use Tamil? So biotic is the living things. Abiotic is the non-living. Okay. So with these two organisms that we can take again one more classification such as a dynamic and a complex component. This dynamic and complex, how they have classified based on the intensity, right? Based on the intensity that they have classified. And so what is finally this environment? It is a total condition of the particular surrounding. Okay. So what is the total environment? It may have physical properties and biological properties, then cultural elements. Okay. So the surrounding means the surrounding only, again we are going for the subdivisions. How this surrounding, it is divided into biotic and abiotic based on these three components or elements. Okay. Physical, biological, then cultural. So this regulates this biological and cultural elements only. Every day it regulates our lives. Okay. So human beings interact with the environment more vigorously than living beings because every day the impact what we are seeing, say for example, global warming and ocean depletion. Okay, what we have done already to the earth, that only we are facing now, right? So compared to the other living organisms, human being interact um, mostly. Okay, I can say, and then it consists of atmosphere, hydrosphere, a lithosphere, and biosphere. So, what is this environment? Environment means it is a biosphere. Okay, so which has the other spheres fractions too. So, what is the atmosphere? Okay, hope so that you all know what is this, right? Atmosphere, hydrosphere. Atmosphere is a mixture of gas. I need some response. Yes. I need some response from you all. Hydrosphere, it's the water. Then lithosphere, the rock layer. And the biosphere, the living things within it. Okay. So, a chief component, we are further classifying these based on these spheres: soil, water, organisms, and solar energy. So, if we are telling the environment is good, the interaction between these organisms and the components which plays like air, soil, water should be effective. And it has provided us all the resources of feeding the company. You just imagine if we don't have a good type of soil, tell me what type of agricultural practice that you will do. What are the basic needs to lead a life? Can anyone? If you need to live, what is the basic element? S, MSc students. வாழ்றதுக்கு என்னமா ரொம்ப முக்கியம்? What do you need? I need some response. Last ரொம்ப energetic and enthusiastic இருந்தாங்க. Still, I didn't get any answer from you all. What you need to lead your life, the basic components to lead your life is water, air, yes or no? Shelter. So all these things we are getting from nature. There are two persons here. Here I have quoted, one is Gilbert and another one is E.G. Rose. There are so many persons who contributed for this studies. Okay. So according to Gilbert, environment is everything. Okay. When you are telling environment, that is what simply I told you, it is surrounding, which means surround you. Can classify all considered.
Ma'am, excuse
So
me, ma'am.
Gilbert says, yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
sometimes your voice is breaking, ma'am, little bit.
Little bit. Am I okay now?
Your voice is okay, but something is there during adjustment of mic. I think you are speaking on mic.
Yeah, I am speaking at the microphone.
Yeah, ma'am, please adjust it properly. That's why we will be able to properly able to listen you, ma'am.
Okay. The same time, I need your response too.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So Gilbert says the environment is everything immediately surrounding it, exerting a direct influence on it. So whatever either it is biotic or abiotic, the interaction within the living organisms is very important, and which gives the impact and as well as the influence. See, when we are living in the earth, definitely we are interacting abiotic components. Okay, so which is influencing the environment. And according to E.G. Rose, environment is an external force. Okay, so hope so that you know the meaning for external and internal. Okay, say for example, I need to lead my life. I need some support, right? So this environment play as an external force which influence us. Okay. So what is a man and environmental relationship? So for we have discussed what is environment. Environment is nothing but it is surrounding. Okay, so surrounding means you cannot stop only surrounding. Further, you're supposed to explain the surrounding is consists of biotic and abiotic components. Then you should be very clear. You have to classify what are the abiotic components which is played important in the environment, and what are the biotic. Biotic even we can tell as well, right? So man, the human being plays a very important role. That's what, that's the topic. It's
Ma'am?
called man is,
Ma'am, your voice is sometimes getting low, ma'am.
no, I'm using properly only, ma'am. What about for others?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Same issue.
Say, okay, what about what's good now? I'm not using my microphone. I'm directly speaking, right?
Now
Is it
Yes, ma'am.
audible?
This time okay, sir. Okay, ma'am. It
Yeah,
is by
okay.
more better.
ma'am, thank
Okay,
you, ma'am.
fine. So human beings, we are interacting more and more, right? And the influence what we are giving to the nature, it's very important. That is what there is a topic which is called man and environmental relationship. Okay. So here only we just start. Yes, ma. Am I audible? Yes.
Audible.
Yeah, okay. First one, how the environment acts to us. Okay. So the environment acts directly to man. That is human being. Okay. So நம்ம கிட்ட direct contactல இருக்கு environment. And the next one is the man also acts directly to the environment. So this is, I think this is a very important thing, why the influence and the impact is more. Say for example, when we are using carbon dioxide more and more, what will happen? The earth is getting heating up, global warming, right? The temperature change, the climate change, everything is caused, right? So this is the two reason. The environment acts directly to them, to man, and as well as the man acts directly to the environment. Okay. So each acts directly on the others. So what is the output? What we will get if we act directly? So environment also act directly, and we also depend mostly on the environment, okay? For the natural, for food and for shelter, for everything we are depending on the nature, right? So in reality, the situation is complicated. So both of us, we are directly interacting. So what's happening? Many impacts. That is what here that I have mentioned complicated, because a large number of factors and their association among themselves influence their relationship. See, if we are planting more number of trees, what is the output? And if we are cutting more number of trees, what is the output? So the result we now itself will know, right? So how we are interacting, that plays a very important role in the environment. Whenever we are talking man environmental relationship, it is a direct contact, because we are human beings, we depend on the nature, right? So based on this only, okay, you can even see this flow diagram. As we discussed, how we are interacting to the environment in three, based on three elements, right? Biological, physical, and then S. Are you all sleeping? Am I boring? I need some interaction. I know this is a hard time, afternoon, sitting and listening my class. That's what I want always reply from you all.
Ma'am,
Yes.
it's interesting only, ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, it's interesting only, but I'm not getting any answer. Whatever questions that I'm asking, I sometimes feel I'm talking alone, which means I need some interaction, right? So, what are the three basic elements that I have discussed in the previous slides? Yes.
Air, water, and soil, no, ma'am.
No, that is a element of spheres, right? Atmosphere, biosphere, and lithosphere. Before that, I have spoken about biological, physical, and one more element. Okay, time permits you just search and tell me. Let me go ahead. So, how we are interacting? Okay, the man social relationship in the space. Okay, and nature is based on the environmental factor. So why we need to depend this nature? Without nature, can we live? Is it possible? No, right? Okay, for many things. Okay, say for example, in one word, I can say resource. We need to lead a life. We need resource. Okay, the resource itself we can classify renewable resource, non-renewable resource, etc., etc. Okay, so in any part, either it is a abiotic or biotic, we are depending this nature. Just a minute. So for what all the importantly that we are depending the nature, best example that I can say for a settlement. So what are the physical properties? Okay, land use, for infrastructure, for socio-economic framework, and then landscape, everything plays, right? Okay, for all these things, we are depending the nature. So for all those things, we need the environmental component. நீங்க எது எடுத்தாலும் இந்த த்ரீ காம்பனன்ட்ஸ்ல ஏதாவது ஒண்ணு it will come out, right? So based on this man and human relationship or environmental relationship only, we are further classifying determinism, possibilism, and neo-determinism. Okay. So far, are you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I go ahead?
It's clear. It's
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah. And actually, it's very hard. I know this is a very interesting topic, but I don't know how you will take it's, determinism, possibilism, and neo-determinism is a very, very important thing. Okay. And where we will talk, we are talking in the environmental geography. First of all, you should know what is this determinism, the meaning for this, right? So what we have discussed in the previous slides, it is continuing. Okay. The words of Platt, the person, his definition alone I had taken to explain you. 1948, he has explained the term determinism refers to the idea, okay, that everything in human life is caused certainly by preceding events on condition. Okay. So we are depending the nature environment. Okay. And we are depending the resources. The primary initial source of determinist for an explanation was the physical environment. So hope so you're all MSc students. What is this physical environment? So if I ask physical environment, definitely I will not get the answer. I should change my question. What is physical geography, right? So under physical geography, what are the papers that you are studying? Anyone?
Ma'am, under physical geography, we used to study about the land, mountains, the physical parts of India and around the world. So it
which
will
means,
be,
yeah.
for example, Himalayas, we have 3 layers. So all that comes under that, ma'am.
Yeah, which means you are trying to tell me the geomorphology, right? You are concentrating the landforms, types of landforms, and how the landforms are created based on different types of forces, everything which will come under the geomorphology. If you divide the geomorphology itself, we can divide into two types. One is fundamental geomorphology, second one is the process geomorphology. Under process geomorphology only, we will be concentrating the 5 agents of erosion, right? Based on the agents, how we are having a different types of landform. Am I right? So this is a one part. In physical geography, geomorphology is the one part. Then any other subjects which is covered?
Climatology, ma'am.
Very good. Climatology. Yes.
And then
Climatology.
biogeography, environment geography,
Environmental geography. Very good. And then,
oceanography.
pardon?
Oceanography, ma'am.
Okay, oceanography. Yes, thank you. See, if you take geomorphology, it study about landform, okay, which means rock. And climatology, okay. So what we are studying in climatology, weather and climate, different types of pressure, wind system, etc., etc. So atmosphere. First one is the lithosphere. Second one is the atmosphere. And as you said, oceanography, what you are concentrating, the division of water bodies, right? Okay, hydrosphere. And fourth one, biogeography or environmental geography. So can you able to connect how this environmental geography divides? So we cannot tell environmental geography means it is a one single term. Okay. If you definitely you should connect and study, then only you will understand. Say for example, if we are talking about Himalayas, you should you cannot talk in Himalayas. Why in Himalayas temperature is varying from the like a plateau region or plain region? Definitely the variation is there. You should know why and what type of landform. Definitely it will be vary from plateau to plain. And what are the types of vegetation that you can see? Definitely that will be differ from plateau to plain regions. Why? Based on the altitudinal variation. So every time, whenever you are talking about environmental geography, you supposed to connect and see what is the type of landform is there. When you are talking about Amazon, okay, why Amazon? What's special in Amazon? Yes. What is
Forest.
this Amazon forest?
Evergreen
Nile River.
Very
forest.
good. It is an evergreen forest. And where it is? It
In
is in the
it's in the
Africa.
south.
America.
yes, little bit explanation. It is an equatorial region, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's an equatorial region. Yes, you are having selvas or Amazon forest. Okay. So if I ask how is this forest, you will tell me the answer, right? Tall evergreen forest and evergreen forest. The term itself explaining us evergreen throughout 365 days. You can see ever green, the place which surrounds by green. Okay. So every time, how a place which covers evergreen. எப்படி evergreen இருக்க முடியும்? Because yes.
All the trees don't shed their leaves at the same time.
Okay.
Frequent rainfall is there. Afternoon rainfall is there.
Very good. So whenever you're talking about plant growth and vegetation type, you should connect what is the climatic condition. So equatorial region, what is the climatic condition? Hot, and throughout equatorial region receives rainfall. Very hot, and throughout the year, 365 days, the region which receives rainfall. So this combination, hot, the temperature level is high, and the conventional rainfall, not orographic rainfall, conventional rainfall. Hope so that you know the meaning for conventional rainfall, right? And I am expecting that you all know how the equatorial region receives high temperature too. Yes. தெரியுமா எல்லாத்துக்கும்? Are you all? Why in equatorial region alone high temperature?
I think sun rises in the afternoon, ma'am.
No.
Oh God, no.
Is more the equatorial
Half of
region.
the answer is right. Yes, yes.
Amount of insolation, solar insolation receiving is more in equatorial region.
Okay, your answer is right. A little bit elaborately, can you? How the amount of insulation is high?
Latitude is too high, ma'am.
Very good. No, the rotation. Okay, when the Earth is rotating, it's the direct sun rays which falls on the equatorial region. The direct rays.
Vertically, ma'am.
Okay. That's what. That is the reason. Okay, the vertical, the high incoming solar radiation, so that this region receives very high temperature. Okay, so very high temperature, because of the high rate of temperature, the evaporation is more. So afternoon time, the conventional rainfall, it takes place. So throughout the year, the place is full of humidity, the air which holds the moisture content in it. So you are having full-fledged vegetation over there. So now how you are connected vegetation with the climate, and now come to the soil. What type of soil in the Amazon? Ma climate mattu irundha, it is not sufficient, right? High temperature is, and throughout the year rainfall, right? What about the soil? Definitely the soil is supposed to be fertile, right? So that we are getting evergreen forest. So now, can you able to connect soil, climate, and vegetation?
Yes.
Yes.
Soil, let's write soil, either red and yellow soil.
Yeah.
Later.
Yes. So now, no, I just given the example. You to connect the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and the atmosphere, and then biosphere, right? So at least now, are you aware about this? How this paper is going to be, right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So it is a physical environment. Okay. So physical environment is nothing but every time we have to depend on the nature. Okay. Determinism explains, it gives an idea about the physical environment, and the theoretical order was centered on the belief that the human activity. So based on this is the fact that we are all having how we are interacting. Okay, without interaction, we cannot lead life. Okay, for regulating the life, in order to lead the life, we have to interact with the environment. But actually, what we are doing, we are controlling the environment. Okay. So determinism is a paradigm, is one of the most significant beliefs, which still continues is one form or other. So in this context, and the concept, it is believed that due to the difference in the nature environment, the variation in human behavior in different parts of the world can be described. So for this particular point, I would like to give some more explanation, like, say for example, if we are dividing the entire world, how can we divide based on the latitudinal extension? Yes, 0 to 5, it is an equatorial region. And 5 to 23 degree and off, it is a tropical, right? But 23 degree and off to 66 degree and off, it is a temperate. And then 66 degree and off to till 90 degree, it is another north, and 90 degrees south. This is all based on the latitudinal extension that we are dividing the earth. Now, what they are telling, the difference in the natural environment. So my question now is the same type of economy activity where you can see in the all the latitudinal extension. Yes. A polar region, what they are practicing, that only we are practicing in tropical region also. Yes or no? I mean, first of all, my question is clear. Yes, it is varying. Okay, the polar region, the latitudinal extension is high. Okay, because of that, the climate is varying. So physical property also it is varying. The availability of natural resources is very, very minimal. So human cannot live. Only the whose native people are living. Best example I can say igloos. Okay. So why can't we live in polar region? Because we do not have the comfortable life over there, right? Yes or no? So why in tropical and temperate region alone there is more population? Because we are having all the facility and comfortable type of climate. Based on the climate, we are having good type of vegetation and animal distribution. Based on that, we are having economy activity. Okay. So the entire earth, it is not uniformly spread. Based on the latitudinal extension that we are having difference. So the variation of human behavior also will vary. Polar region we cannot sustain in tropical region. Tropical we cannot live it in polar region. Okay. So according to the physical environment, the human should adapt. Okay. And determinists to consider human as a passive agent. Sometimes it's a very important question even in UPSC. Okay. We are acting as a passive agent on whom physical factors are working continuously. Okay. So nature is working day and night, not like us. So the continuous determining their approach and decision-making process. It is not ending up. It is a never-ending process. Okay, we are every time we are dependent on the nature. According to the our interaction, it is varying. We are trying. It gives a new. What is that? The old species all gone. Now we are having all hybrid varieties and the full custom of even culture. What we are ancient people consumed. Now we don't have. Okay. இந்த மாதிரி extinct level போனது because the interaction, the impact is more what we have done on earth. Okay. So with this, I'll stop. If you have any question, you may ask me. Tomorrow, I'll just start this probabilism. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
My class is okay?
Yes, ma'am. Excellent class. But how we'll get notes, ma'am?
You're having no?
Hello. Okay.
The
Okay.
books that they will be giving, right? As sir said, if you need this notes, what I'm taking, I'll give. Okay, don't worry. I'll give it to sir. You can get it from him.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yes,
According
ma'am.
to the request, I'll give. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt? That's what
No.
for this 5 minutes. If you can ask, no doubts means then I'll leave.
No doubt, ma'am.
Yeah.